Today's episode is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/HadokenDebt. If you are really big into Star Wars and you have to have a Star Wars book that is part of the canon, then they have all those books on there. They have one that I'd recommend is The Catalyst. It's a Rogue One novel. It's actually a prequel to Rogue One, the movie that's coming out in December, and it's by a fantastic writer, James Luceno. He is so good with writing these Star Wars books. I've read a couple of his, and he's just fantastic. So go to audibletrial.com/HadokenDebt for your free trial and free audiobook.
We're hearing recording. Okay.
Maybe.
Been watching the Goldbergs.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry for blaming John for getting me hooked on that.
I know.
I'd forgotten that you got him hooked on it first.
Just because somebody has a podcast about
well,
TV and they take the credit.
He's also been using my Hulu account.
Oh, okay.
And so it shows up that he's been watching it, and that's why it was kind of like a
it was in your mind.
Yeah, like I wouldn't have even thought about it had and not known he was watching through it while I was checking into Hulu and stuff. Yeah. But then I saw the preview for season 4, episode 1, when they do the Breakfast Club, and I'm like, oh man, if they're gonna do the Breakfast Club, I've got to watch it.
Never saw that movie.
You never saw the? Didn't we talk about this already?
Maybe. I don't.
It was probably another John Hughes movie you hadn't seen. So
16 Candles.
Yeah,
I've never seen that one either.
Good
Pretty
grief,
in Pink? No.
Seriously? I've got another friend who's like never seen... Oh, my other friend Rob. He's like never seen any of those 80s movies. I'm like, I wasn't born... I was technically born in the 80s, but not old enough to remember any of it. But I at least went back and watched it all. Like, that's what I love about the Goldbergs. That era that it takes place in doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
Because it's all like stuff that older kids would have done, like Ryan or something like that. You know, 7 or 8 years older than me. But it's still funny to watch it, and because you can still kind of see the remnants of that. Yeah. Or it's kind of like watching I Love the 80s on VH1. It's still kind of fun to get educated on what you were born into. I saw the trailer to that Breakfast Club, and then his dad was like, what is the Breakfast Club? And then the guy was like, no one knows. Yep. But so that's what got me started on it, but I've loved it from episode 1, really. It's been hilarious. So it's nostalgic, but not so nostalgic that it's only about like, this is the 80s kind of thing. It's got real funny characters and stuff like that too.
And I love I love the relationship between the kids and the mom, because the mom is just like a helicopter parent before it was a thing.
They call her a smother.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I've never heard that before. And then the dad just like drops his pants as soon as he comes in the door and sits in his chair.
Yeah. And then I like how at the end they have the real tapes.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And then what they did,
because it's based off of the guy's life.
Yeah.
So I was like, dang, that kid had a video camera before anybody had a video camera. He shot a lot of footage.
He did reality TV before.
Yeah.
It was a thing.
He's really smart. I mean, he definitely ended up in the right career based on his interests as a kid.
Yeah.
So, and then the other thing I like about it is how they have one 80s theme song basically for every episode.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's pretty cool. I heard that's pretty expensive for them to buy the rights to play that though for network TV.
I'm sure they make more money back, worth it. I saw the one with Weird Al.
I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Yeah. Well, that's actually in season 3, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got like 2 episodes left in season 2 to go. So, they did Ferris Bueller's Day Off. They did it as Barry Goldberg's Day Off. Yeah. And it was so perfect.
Yeah, they did the Goonies, too.
Yeah, the Goonies, he talked about that because he's like, the Goonies wasn't really modeled after any experience in his life, because so far most of them have been like, this happened in our life. But like the Goonies and Barry Goldberg's Day Off and The Breakfast Club, I think he's just got he loves John Hughes. And he loves those movies, and he just wants to do tributes to those movies and stuff. So,
and they had the one where it was they had Double Dare tryouts at their school. You might not have gotten to that one.
I don't think I've gotten to that one yet.
I think it's at the end of season 2. But yeah, it was pretty funny.
I just saw the one where he was making not an interview tape, a tryout tape for American Gladiators.
Yeah.
Barry was getting beat up the entire time. So
I love how Barry just thinks he's like the best at everything.
The most handsome.
Yeah.
It's funny because like I'm totally blanking on their names now. Erica and who's the youngest kid? Adam. That's the guy's name. Adam Goldberg.
Adam Goldberg.
Adam and Erica, neither of them take their mom's compliments seriously.
No.
But every single thing that the mom says to Barry, he thinks that it's real.
It's like...
Because she's got mom vision, and nothing that her kids can do is wrong or bad.
Yeah.
And he takes it all to heart. It's like, wow, I really am the best singer in the world. I am the most handsome boy in all the land.
Big Tasty's rap career is going to take off.
Gosh. Yeah, it's so bad. I love it, though. It's funny.
Have you ever known anybody like Barry, like in real life?
Like completely oblivious to everybody else around him?
Yeah.
I've got this one friend named Charlie.
Ah.
No, I'm kidding. I've never been friends with somebody like that, but I could say that I've known people like that. I don't tend to befriend them.
Yeah. But, yeah, I've known some people from high school like that, and they've turned out really successful.
Really?
I'm like, dang it.
Just the confidence to do their own thing.
Because they don't care. Like, they just go, okay, this is it. I'm doing it. You know? So maybe there might be something there.
Who do you identify with most out of the three?
Probably, I mean, Adam, because he wants to win the approval of people. I feel like he wants to win the approval of people, and he gets confused on like being himself or doing the right thing. Yeah. You know.
In the episode Happy Mom, Happy Life.
Yeah.
When he had to raise a Cabbage Patch Kid with his girlfriend.
And then there was the one where he went to the dance with his... Like, he kind of just brushed his mom off, and then he went to the dance with his girlfriend or something, and then he ended up dancing with his mom or something, so he was still loving his mom. Yeah. No matter how annoying.
Sadly, now that I think about it, I do kind of think that I identify most with Barry.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just thinking of Erica. Erica's like the popular one and does, good grades and popular and loves music and 80s fashion and stuff like that. Adam's like the really nerdy, dorky kind of kid who's got all his little hobbies and a very small group of friends. And Barry just has these wildly diverging interests like rap music and karate and all that kind of stuff. And doesn't really care if it's popular or if it's on TV all the time or anything like that. He's just really into it.
So did you ever pursue a girl knowing she didn't like you, and then it ended up where...
I don't have enough fingers to count how many times that's happened in my life. Sarah was my first girlfriend because she was the first one that ever liked me back.
Right.
But I've had girlfriends, crushes, since preschool.
Yeah.
So.
Same here.
Yeah.
Well.
But been enjoying that. So
awesome.
That's been my current sitcom binge.
Yeah, we'll get into our most anticipated shows this season in our Nerd Talk. But
that'd be fun.
So we'll get into our main topic today, and it's about doing things that would make our grandpa proud.
Okay.
So this was an article or a blog post from Art of Manliness. Do you ever read that?
Yeah, I used to.
Yeah.
Back when I read blogs all the time.
Now you just read your own. No, you don't read them. You live it because you write your own.
Live blogs. I think that's called live blog, not live blog.
Live blog?
No, I don't read it anymore. But I used to about 6 5 or 6 years ago. I was reading a lot of them. It actually is what got me into adventure racing and ended up doing the Warrior Dash and the Tough Mudder.
Nice.
Because they had an article on adventure races on Art of Manliness.
Yeah.
So, and years ago, Ryan and I were going through, they had a 100 books every man should read list that they did. And Ryan and I, it's been years since we stopped doing this, but we wanted to read 5 out of the 100 books each year. So it would be a 20-year project to finish the list.
Oh, awesome.
We started that back in like 2008. I think it went 2 whole years.
Mm-hmm.
But
I like the website. I mean, it has interesting stuff, but then every once in a while, like, I'll come to a post and I'll be like, 5 knots that you need to know. I'm like, it's cool. That's cool, but I don't.
I like those.
Yeah.
I like the outdoorsy ones, like how to build fire
Yeah.
without matches and
Yeah.
how to tie knots and stuff.
Uh-huh.
The ones I don't like on it are the ones that are all about fashion. And they're like, dress like your grandfather would dress, you know, all about pocket squares and nicely tailored suits.
Yeah.
And the right hat for the right occasion.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
And don't
or
throw
shaving with a straight razor, stuff like that.
Don't
I'm
throw
like,
away those shoes because you need to get them resold. You know.
Yep.
I'm like,
the shoes I wear are not lifetime shoes.
No.
And nor would I ever want to wear shoes that are supposed to stick around that long.
yeah. I
don't wear Oxfords. So that's when it lost me, is when it got into like style and fashion and stuff like that. I'm like, I like the outdoorsy and the resourcefulness and the independence and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
I'm not dressing like that.
nah.
I'm a cargo shorts and t-shirt kind of guy.
Yep.
Grandfather be damned.
Is your grandfather still living?
One of them is.
Okay.
Yep.
I never met my grandfathers.
Either of them?
Either of them.
Yeah.
I think my mom's dad is passed on, and then I don't know about my dad's dad. He's probably passed on.
Is that just because your mom didn't have a good relationship with her dad?
That and
So he was kind of out of your life.
He was out of
You guys voluntarily weren't talking to him or something.
Yeah, I mean, he was in Taiwan,
Oh.
and I think he passed away early too.
Mhm.
Like, so
Mhm.
I didn't really know any of my grandparents.
I didn't know either of mine that well, just because. Well, one was in Sacramento, which wasn't far away from us, so they only lived 40 minutes away. But my mom tells me now that when we'd go over there, they'd just shove us in front of a TV and not really pay much attention to us.
Yeah.
So the few memories that I have of my grandparents, and then there were also strained relationships between my mom and her parents and her brothers and sisters and stuff like that. Because my mom was a Christian, and none of my mom's family was a Christian.
Oh, gotcha.
So that was always strained. But the one family member on that side that we always got around, or were around the most, was my grandparents. But the memories are very hazy because it was probably like once or twice a year.
Right.
So I remember they used to take us to McDonald's, and my mom and dad never used to take us to McDonald's because my mom worked at McDonald's when she was a teenager.
Oh, gosh.
Way back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And didn't want to eat there ever again for the rest of her life. So that was one of my memories of my grandparents, is they actually took us to McDonald's, and then just watching TV at their house and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then my other grandparents, my dad's parents, are in Wisconsin, and so we never got to see them, like maybe once every 4 years or something like that.
Yeah,
So,
it was interesting when I married Janie and we started going to these family functions. They would always go to we always go to Grandma McClanahan's for Thanksgiving or Christmas, and she just makes a big deal about grandparents, and it's like I never had that. I never understood.
Yeah.
You know, like, we should go visit Grandma and Grandpa. Like, I'm like, it's not that I don't care. It's just I didn't grow up with that. So I was just like, okay.
Yeah, it was the same with Sarah, because both sets of her grandparents lived next to each other. So they moved to Chambers. They actually were from Clinton.
Yeah.
And that's where Sarah's parents grew up. And then when they retired, they moved to Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. But they moved and ended up like 4 houses away from each other because they've been friends. Her grandmothers had been friends ever since her dad. How's it go? One of her uncles and another of her uncle got in a fight in kindergarten, and the two moms met in the principal's office and were best friends from that point forward. But it was that way. It was like we would drive up to Chambersburg for Thanksgiving or for Christmas and for all sorts of stuff. So
yeah,
it was weird to have grandparents that you looked forward to seeing and that were involved in your life and everything like that.
Yeah.
They've since passed on. Sarah doesn't have any grandparents left on her side.
Yeah.
I've just got the one set on my dad's side. And they're in Wisconsin. So but I'm not close with them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So.
Hadoken!